Hello, 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 friends. Welcome on back. Something a little different today. Yes, definitely something a little different. I've been playing around with a few things. And if you saw the last stream, we've always been, actually, you know what? It's actually somewhat recently where I've been having these major issues, or at least somewhat major issues with OBS and it crashing all the time. And it was happening in the last stream, obviously. So one of the things that I was thinking about was potentially checking out Streamlabs OBS, and that is what I'm doing here today. So I figured let's also do a channel update and kind of see how this goes. So I can already see a couple things that I need to update and fix. So in the starting soon screen, obviously there was no music. Normally I do have that there. So, but that all has to do with my Stream Deck, I believe, and linking that up with the Streamlabs OBS. So that's one thing I overlooked. We are always learning, or at least I'm trying to. That is for sure. Trying to learn. Another advantage with this is I think I may have fixed. You can see in the upper left hand corner here the notification for subscribers. This is a different widget, and it may be fixed now. I'm hoping. So I guess the bigger hope is at some point, it probably won't happen today, but in a future stream, we'll get another new subscriber and kind of see how that goes. So I also I added a couple other little things also. So this, where would it be in here? Oh, this right here. I added this. Hopefully you guys. Oh, I don't want to be moving that. Yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind. Oh, I moved that again. I wanted to select this little over here on the bottom right hand corner. Hopefully it won't get in the way, and hopefully you won't mind. But just showing off. We're on Twitter, we're on Discord, we're on TikTok. So just kind of showing that stuff off. And then I thought I had a way of getting the chat box on screen. So if you're watching this video later, you can see that. So I'm not seeing that right now. I thought I kind of had that. Is there a way that I can kind of play around with this and see what I might have? Always show messages, disable message animations. I might have to dig into this a little deeper. But that's kind of what this is for. I wanted to kind of see what is going on here and how to play around with this stuff. So let's see. If I have that, then I type into the chat. Will it show anything? It does not. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look into that. But that, as of right now, I mean, that's just right now, kind of upper right hand corner. But it's not showing anything right now. So add that one to the list. So we're hoping that the subscriber updates. I need to look into the chat box, see what's going on there. I need to fix my my screens. Let's just double check. I don't think so. Even if I do the "Be Right Back," will that start playing that music? I don't think it will because that's all tied to my Stream Deck, not tied to OBS. So if I just press the Stream Deck button, I don't think it's going to move. Well, it did start playing music. I don't know if you're hearing the music. I am, but it didn't change the scene. So if I go back to what would be my stream button. All right, so I think you probably did hear that music because I can see that the audio levels. But now if I start the Be Right Back screen. Now again, all right, so this is not going to play music because I do not have the music tied to OBS. I have it tied again to the Stream Deck. So there's that. Okay. Let's see when I hit the thank you button. Music comes up, but no screen does not change. So what's interesting, I don't know why the music did not play for the starting soon screen. Let's give that a try again. Let's go back to stream. Oh wait, let's go back to. I gotta get that back again. It is playing the music with the button, but not again. It's not switching the actual scene. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that off. But if I do the starting soon screen, that is in there, but that's in OBS. That's in Streamlabs. That's not on the Steam Deck or the Stream Deck. Same thing with the thank you. All right, I got some work to do. I most definitely do. I've got some work to do. I actually probably should also, like I mentioned, I'm trying to get the chat on the stream. I should probably also have that in the be right back also. That would make sense. So let me just, well, let me just kind of quickly, can I copy and paste this into there? Copy, go back to be right back. It doesn't actually, I don't think it's actually pasting in though. See if I can't just kind of quickly add it just so it's there as a reminder, I guess. I know, Les Girl, you did give me a link to a way to get chat on, but I just saw this in case you're watching, I did see this in the widget, so I thought I'd give this a try since it's within, Streamlabs, chat box, add source. We already have one, so I can go ahead and add that. That would probably move that on over there, maybe. But yeah, it's just not. It's well. Let me give this one a test. I don't think this is going to change anything. Let's just give it a try. Oh, that time. So it did show up there. Interesting. Test two. All right. So there's something on the actual the stream scene, I should say. And it looks like I probably need to make this a little larger also. The last time I tried doing this, I was moving the wrong thing. Oh, you know what? Do I go into properties? Is it font size or would it be browser setting? I see this. Well, I'll play around with that. But at least I know in here it is working. So there's something in the on the stream scene. Let's go ahead and do a test three just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the stream scene then. Oh, it's showing up there now. How about a test four? We got to do a test four. There you go. All right. It seems to be working now. I don't know why. I did a test initially and it did not show up. I think I can also. Can I test the event list? So the subscriber thing. I think I might be able to. So if I go into settings, test widgets. Can I add it to look to where it looks like I'm subscribing to myself? Yeah. So I think that might be working. As usual, there's gonna be a fingers crossed on that. There's most definitely gonna be a fingers crossed on that. All right, so we got some of that stuff. I'll continue playing around with this, and obviously you'll have to kind of bear with me slash forgive me in the next stream or two as I kind of work through some of these things. But at least I know what I need to work on now. And I think the big thing is just linking my settings and information in the Stream Deck to the Streamlabs OBS. Very cool. All right. It's a little weird looking at this one though, but obviously the main goal, and maybe what we'll do at the very end, I might even fire up Suns. Oh, speaking of this, you're not going to believe this, or you actually probably will believe this. Oh my! I screwed up at the end of the last stream. Any ideas? Anyone have any ideas what I might have done? I know Misty probably knows. Misty, I'm sure you know what I did. I did not save. And so it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world at all, but I did not save. So we're back on that beach, and I all I have to do is just run back to the 3D base, and maybe that's what we do at the very end again to kind of test this out. And I realize also if I'm just running for 10 minutes, generally do not have a problem with normal OBS and crashing. Although the two streams before the last stream, it was actually crashing right when I was loading, right when I was going from starting soon scene to let's stream scene. It was crashing right there. Last time I didn't do that. And we were fine until we hit that 3 hour mark. It seemed to be about that 3 hour mark once again where I had an issue. So I think again, I wanted to check out Steam Labs here or Streamlabs here to see if it might help. But I think ultimately what I need, I think it's still going to be that RAM upgrade. I think it's going to help. I don't know if the motherboard upgrade is going to help. That has more to do with my capture card, why I need to upgrade that versus the RAM. So I have a feeling the RAM might help with that, but I wanted to give this a try also. And again, if I was having issues with the subscriber thing, this allows me to do this. It kind of gave me a reason to go in there. It's a little easier to work with than Streamlabs. So thank you once again, Les Girl, for the info on this. And then also if we can get the chat up on stream, because I know Misty, unfortunately, time change, time difference, you're not able to get on any of the streams. You might have been able to jump in one, I believe. But if you're able to see chat, I think that'll be a nice little touch for you also. So, or anybody who's watching post stream. So maybe at the very end, I'll fire up Suns and we'll make that run. Just get there, get inside 3D base, get that save, and that'll probably be the end of the stream. But also in the meantime, I kind of wanted, like I said, I wanted to do a bit of a channel update. And it's crazy. I went from potentially feeling like, what am I going to play next? I'm not sure what I want to play. How is everything going to fit in with Starfield? Because Starfield is going to be um, will be the main pillar of the channel starting in September, assuming it still comes out in September. Pretty confident it will. But that's going to be the pillar of the channel for a bit. So we have what? So we have June, July, August, September, October, a little bit of, oh no, why am I going into November? We have June, July, August, and a little bit of September. That's basically 3 months. What I was getting a little worried about what I was going to play. I have a long list. It's actually a pretty extensive list. You know what? Let's see if can I pull this over real quick. I just want to make sure everything is good here. Can I pop this out? I'm sure I can pop this out. How do I do that? Bear with me here. Give me a moment. Oh, I guess I could probably close that. Although I don't want that. Yeah, that I don't want that. Okay. Might not be able to show this right now. You know what I might be able to do? This is not going to represent everything. Let's give this a try. drag this over. Just do a screenshot. Explode that on up. So this is kind of like I said, I have this long list, and it's even longer than this. Well, actually, it's not too much longer. There's probably about another 20 games below this right here. But this is kind of what I've been working off of for how I determine what I want to play. I keep a list, right? 'Cause I don't want to forget, because I'm always going to forget. Um, I kind of work off this list. Some of these games on here, I put on early on when either they were announced and like, hey, I'm going to add this to the list because it looks cool. Some of the games when they first came out, I was like, hey, I watched a little bit of this. I like the way this looks. I'm going to stop watching this because I might want to play this at some date. And then others, I just knew right away. I just knew right away I was going to want to play. There are actually a decent number of games on here also that I have already played, just not on the channel. But again, this is kind of the list. I use Notion for my notes, so this is within Notion. But you can see here. Here's what we're. Oh, you know what? I just noticed. I was gonna tease. I was gonna do. I had a decent little tease going for what the next game is, and I mentioned it in the last. I mentioned it in the last stream, and I think I put something on Discord um, about what the next game's going to be. But I just now realized I just spoiled my little tease. And if we're going to do that, let's quickly bring this up. All right, it kind of went. It got a little wonky there. Oh, there it goes. It just centered. All right, there we go. This is the new game. This is a new game. I started playing this about a week ago, and I am absolutely loving it. I'm hoping you guys will love it also. I mean, this world so far, even only playing about 6 hours or so, I am adoring this world right now. Absolutely love it. Loving it to pieces. It is just it's amazing. It really, much like Horizon, it really bums me out that I have not played this until now. Now, to be fair though, this has been on my list for about a year now. I've been hoping and or waiting for a PS5 patch, not a patch, but like a version or a remaster. I don't know if they do a remaster this soon because it just came out in 19. But I was kind of hoping for a PS5 version of this. And when I finished Dead Space, it was like a few days to a week before the Sony showcase this past week. I already knew I was going to play Days Gone. And I actually already started playing, I believe. But I was like, I'll start playing, but I'm keeping an eye out to see if Ben Studios makes an announcement about a PS5 version or Days Gone 2. And of course, we got nothing. We got nothing. It does not sound like Days Gone 2 is going to happen. Um, I would have loved a PS5 version, but this seemed like a good time. I know it's a game I've been putting off. I've been wanting to play. And this should give us time between now and so it gives us what I said, 3 months, right? I know I can finish it, but getting it up on this channel, that's obviously going to depend on how much I dive into what I want to put in the playlist on a channel, as in episodic, versus if I want to stream some of this. So, one thing I've been mentioning for Horizon Forbidden West is when I finish, I'd like to stream some of the smaller content. You know, like some of the errands and some of the little things, right? Kind of, I've been calling it trophy cleanup. Kind of wanting to do that. So I might do something like that with this. I don't know. We'll see. I need to really get into it and kind of see how the game goes, or is, or plays out before I figure that out. So, yeah, I kind of ruined that. I kind of busted that all because of right there. I know you can't see my cursor, but at the very top. Oh, you might not even be able to see everything. because of the overlay. So can I move? Can I slide this over? So I can write. So I guess I could have done this right there. I kind of ruined it. Definitely ruined it. Let's go ahead and take those off. What happens if I crop? I don't want to crop that. Let's get rid of this. Make that. Let's get this larger again. There we go. And then how about if I just come over to this event list and we'll move this down here for now. I mean, I'm sure you could easily see what it was, but clear visibility. There we go. So obviously we're playing Forbidden West, Sons of the Forest, Days Gone. I've already started, and then here's kind of what I tentatively want to play next. Now this always changes for me. I'll have sometimes I'll have 10 games in next, and then I'll move them around. I'll move them out. Sometimes I have 1 or 0 games in next. So that's always kind of changing. And then my some days. There's a lot of some days. But I definitely want, obviously, like I said, Starfield's going to be a pillar of the channel coming September. Um, Once we finish Forbidden West, I do need to play Burning Shores. Let's see if I can't. Let's get this going. Can we do this? How does that appear? I don't know if I like the highlighter. This might be a little better. Kind of do that. It's horrible, but it kind of works. I am going to want to play Burning Shores, the DLC. What I'm debating is, do I just jump right into it, or do I take a little bit of time off? And when I say a little bit of time, I do mean a legitimately little bit of time, as in like a week or so. Just break it up a little bit, and then jump into it. But because again, I'm gonna need to finish this. I'm gonna definitely need to be able to finish Burning Shores before Starfield, which should not be a problem. I don't know how big this DLC is. Um, Frozen Wilds was decent size, so we'll have to see. I don't think I'll have Days Gone finished within 3 months. At least not finished and up on this channel. I don't think that'll be done. So yeah, that'll be something. All right, so go continuing down the list. Alan Wake 2. Saw that trailer in the Sony showcase. I want to play this game. I've never played it. So I have Alan Wake Remastered on my list here. Already downloaded on my PS5. I am going to want to play that. Now the thing about this is we actually have some time because Alan Wake 2 does not come out until October. That does give a little bit more time. I do not need to jump into this right away. I have a feeling Alan Wake Remastered could be the second game while we're in Starfield after Days Gone has concluded. That could be the way that goes. That's at least the kind of the order or the layout or the plan that I'm seeing now in my head. That's all it is right now. It's kind of in the head, but that's what I'm thinking. Pinky, if you're watching, I put Doom on here. I think you said 2016. So on Discord, I do have a channel for you guys to recommend games for, and I'll consider every game. But just realize the caveat is I'll consider every game. Just because something's put up there doesn't necessarily mean I'll play it. Because I still have to enjoy the game. I still have to want to play it. 'Cause if I'm not into it and I don't want to play it, not going to be fun for you guys to watch. I know that. So, so I'll consider, and maybe we even get into a realm to where maybe I stream it for once or twice, see how it is, check it out, and then kind of go from there. That could be a potential with not just Doom, not just Doom for you, Pinky, but for any game that is suggested. Maybe that's something we end. If I get enough, then maybe that's something we can do and say, hey, we're checking out this game today, kind of see how it goes, and then go by your feedback if you want to see more of that game. because if I'm on the fence and if you guys are like, oh, I want to see that, I want to see that, I want to see that, then that could get me, that could sway me onto the right side of the fence. So you never know. The Resident Evils, Resident Evil 4 remaster. I did play. I'm not going to go through this entire list. So don't worry, we're not going to go through the entire thing. Um, but I did play Resident Evil way 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 back in the game. It's another one much like Dead Space that I do not remember anything about it, other than I do know it is generally regarded as probably the best Resident Evil game. I've enjoyed the newer ones, Biohazard, 7, 8. I've enjoyed those, especially when they got into the first person. I love those type of games. But admittedly, 8 was a little weird. It was not. It did not seem true Resident Evil to me. I enjoyed it. I had a great time playing it. I actually do love that game quite a bit, but it's not the same. It's on rails quite a bit. And when you actually think about it, and especially if you pay attention while you're playing it, you'll notice how on rails that game actually is, which is not what I've grown to enjoy about Resident Evil. Even the things where you're like, oh, we go here, oh, this door's locked. We need to go find something to get into that door. You know, that's all. Even all that is on a kind of a plain a rail. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Whereas the original Resident Evil, all right, here's this. We can't get in there. We need to walk around, and then we found. Oh, here's another one I can't get into. All right, here's another one. Oh, I found this piece. This goes somewhere, but it doesn't go into those two doors. But it goes somewhere. I need to find that door, right? Um, I didn't think 8 was like that. It seems like they're getting further and further away from that. So that also brings up Prey. Prey is one of my favorite games. So I don't know if there's an actual term for these types of games, but I've kind of been calling them hub games because think of Resident Evil 1 and Prey. If you've ever watched that or played that. Um in Prey you have the space station, right? And much like Resident Evil, you need to get to different spots. You need to solve puzzles. You need to find this to get there. And again, it's not just one find this to one get there. There's multiples, right? So it's not on the rail as much as the Resident Evil 8 was, the village. And pray, 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 man. I loved this game so much because that brought me back and made me feel like that Resident Evil. It felt good. I loved it. I love that. I love being in, so let's say pray, you're in the main lobby area. And there's all these different ways you can go, different levels, different doors, everything. All this stuff is locked. You need to solve these puzzles, and then you come back to this room, and then oh, I got that piece for that, so I'm doing this. Boom. I love that, man. Absolutely love those types of games. So pray. I want to get up on the channel at some point because I love it. Like I said, I've already said it like 12 times, probably too much. Um, I want to get up on the channel, but I also kind of want to wait a little bit because that is one that I do remember quite a bit. Now, I would enjoy being able to dive into the story a little more, much like I've been doing since I've been, putting videos up on YouTube. Back in the day, especially even way before Prey, you know, way, way back in the day when I was gaming, I barely got into the lore at all for anything. I was just like, oh, hit the button, get out. I'm going to keep moving. Hit the button, get out. I'm going to keep moving. Fallout 4 kind of changed that for me a little bit. So that was what 2015, I think it was. And then, but even in Prey, I might have did that a little bit. I don't know if I really dived into the entire lore with all the emails, all the notes. I don't know if I fully did that, so that would be fun to be able to do. Um, you know what? Now that we're working down this list, move. Oh, see, I knew I was going to move the wrong thing. Get back over to this. No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I want either. I don't even know what it is that I want. I keep picking the wrong thing for some reason. It's highlighted right now. Why can I not move what I want to move? I moved it once. Why am I not able to do this? I don't want to. I don't need to double click it. Well, that's. I don't need to do that. No, it's not picking it up for some reason. Oh, there it is. I don't know why I was able to pick it up at that point, but I was. All right, there we go. Let me grab a drink of water here also, real quick. So yeah, Prey. I'm eventually going to want to get that, but that might be a ways off. But the reason why I did mention Resident Evil, because I was kind of thinking, although I think things have changed now because of Alan Wake, because of Days Gone. But I was thinking in October, November, seeing what I could do with the Resident Evil 1 remaster, which you can see down here, the Resident Evil 2 remaster. I think they did 3, right? I think they're going along straight along the list. And then the 4, 'cause it's Halloween time. Halloween, that time of the year. I was thinking about seeing what I could do of getting through those. But I think when I saw Alan Wake, that changed that. Alan Wake's still gonna be a little spooky, I believe. I believe it is. Hey Anna, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Where did you just jump in, or have you been kind of hanging out for a bit? And actually, that brings up another question. Is it Anna or Anna? I've known some Annas and Annas, and it's rightfully so. They're very particular with how it's pronounced. Now, if you've been watching it, just not able to, oh, you just got here. Okay, I can say if you're not really able to do a lot of typing and chatting, that's completely understandable, and that's fine. So, just a quick. All right. So, but how is it? You pronounce it Anna as in and, you know, the A-N and, or Anna as in on, as in on O-N. So I guess is it A-N-D or O-N? So just while we're working through that, just a quick recap for you, Anna. I don't know if you got to see the last stream of Sons, but we got a new subscriber, and she was being extremely helpful with trying to, you know, ways to kind of jazz up the streams a little bit. Um, but I'm trying a different version of OBS. Watch your TV most times, yes, as in Anne. Okay, Anna. Anna. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I thought I remember you saying that you do watch on TV most times. So obviously very cool, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I used to be the same way. I used to watch all YouTube on my TV. I never watched on my computer until recently. When did I get this? I think it was Black Friday. This past Black Friday, I purchased a 42 inch. Well, actually, if I'm not if I'm remembering this correctly, but if I'm laying this out correctly, I purchased a 32-inch monitor, which is cool. I love it. I like it a lot. But I got a buddy who watched it, or who was strongly talking me into purchasing a larger OLED TV as my monitor. I got the 32-inch monitor that I still use it. It's my secondary monitor off to the left, and I have a 27-inch off to the right. Um, but I got the 32-inch, and I was like, oh, I want bigger. So I eventually broke down and I bought 42-inch LG OLED TV, and that's my main monitor. So that's what I game on. That's my main monitor. So I've actually since then I watch most of my TV on my computer now versus out in the living room on the actual TV. Just because you have some slight vision issues, it's easier to watch on the TV. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I appreciate you watching. Thank you. It means a lot. And how cool is it being able to see the chat now? It's kind of cool. All right. So, anyways, we was talking about OBS. You know, I've been having issues where it's been crashing, especially when we get to about that 3 hour mark. It was happening in the last stream. So I had the idea of potentially checking out Streamlabs OBS, which is just another version. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I wanted to test this out. I downloaded it. I got everything in here, but I do still have some tinkering to do to get it back to where it was. But we're also trying to make some improvements at the same time, also. So I got through that part, and then I'm just kind of going through the channel update, and then also I kind of this screen right now kind of gave it away before I wanted to, but the next game that is going to be on the channel is going to be Days Gone. So I've already started playing. I'll be uploading that to the channel sometime this week. I've been toying around with the idea of starting games. The first episode of a game being either Sunday night. I think that might be kind of cool as a kind of like a hey, it's Sunday night. We got a new game going on. Let's start it Sunday night. Might be kind of cool, or even Monday nights because it's the beginning of the week. But I kind of like the Sunday night idea. My only problem with that is the game comes out on Thursday or Friday, which they're generally Thursday. That doesn't give a whole lot of time for recording a decent number of episodes, and then also all the things I need to do for the intro to the intros to the games, the outros, getting all social media set up, getting YouTube set up. Doesn't give a whole lot of time for that. So we'll see. That'll be coming up sometime this week. So I was just sharing my list of games that I've been running with, building off of, and it's a little bit longer than this. But you can see on the right up here. Let me get back to here. Boom. Here's kind of my idea of my next games. We're looking at Alan Wake, Horizon DLC, Starfield, of course. So I have some next games coming up. As far as next games, I think that's pretty much really the only thing I kind of wanted to go over right now. Um, Elden Ring. I'm horrible at Souls games. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've got a buddy that's he's huge. Like Souls are his top thing, and he's pretty darn good at it. Thanks, Anna. So bear with me. I'm gonna have to remember it's Anna because I think I might have said Anna sometimes, but I do have a friend, specifically a friend named Anna. So bear with me if I kind of switch that back and forth from time to time. Um, I'm horrible at these games. I've always liked them. Like every Souls game or Souls like game that comes out, I buy it. I play it for about a couple hours till I get to the first boss, and then I just get too frustrated. I get too frustrated and can't do it. But I thought this might be kind of fun to do on stream, potentially. At least trying it out because it's not going to be pretty. That's for sure. Deathloop. This one actually, I might be taking off. I don't even know if I have. I think I might have lost interest in this. It's a cool concept, but I did watch a little bit of it, and I think I kind of lost interest in that a little bit. Some other games that I definitely do want to get up at some point, the Dishonored series. So Dishonored, wow, my drawing is with my mouse is not good. Dishonored, it's another series that I love. I'm gonna want to get this up at some point. So, but again, these are like pretty far off. And where they are on the list, once we hit the some days on down, doesn't really matter too much. It's not in any particular order. Even the next are not in a particular order. Because like I said, we're gonna be doing Burning Shore on the next section will be next. We'll eventually do remastered before Starfield. So I guess those two are kind of before Starfield. Obviously, Alan Wake 2 comes out in October. So yeah, so I guess that's kind of pretty good. But all of these, they're not in any particular order. But I do want to get the Dishonored. I would love to at some point get The Witcher, but I know that's a huge game. That's going to take a lot of time. That's another big one. Another one I'd like to get would be Metro Exodus, and maybe even the other Metro games. So if you look at my playlist history, one of the very first series I did put up was actually Metro Exodus, one of the DLCs, the two kernels. I think that's what it's called. But I don't have Metro Exodus up. That's how much I was just kind of fooling around back in the day. That's all it was. So yeah, I don't have the main game, but I have one of the DLCs up. So I would like to get the main game up because I do love Exodus. That was a great game. And of course, before GTA 6 comes out, I'm going to want to get GTA 5. And then before Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, which could be what, 4 years from now? Who knows? I'm going to want to get Skyrim. Fallout. I think I mentioned this in the last stream. I was watching somebody play Fallout 4 just this past weekend. The itch, the itch started. I want to play Fallout 4 again, and I already know like what faction I would go with, and an overarching story I would like to tell that includes the DLCs. I already have it planned out and know exactly how I want to play out Fallout 4. That again would be another because of that would be another large one because of the DLCs and what I want to do and with the building that would be another large one. So that's gonna so when you get into those, that's kind of tough to plan out because one thing I realized is I went a good at least a year, if not a year and a half, to maybe close to 2 years on the channel of only uploading Fallout 76 and Horizon Zero Dawn. That's all I did for a couple years. And although I loved it, it's not good for a channel to have two games going for that long. So that's where it gets tough. That's where it gets really tough. Because especially when it comes to Fallout 4, because of how much I love it, that's how much I want. That's how much time I want to put into it. And then when you're looking at Witcher 3, I did play that when it came out. I never finished it, but Witcher 3, it's because of the amount of content. That's the thing there. I'm sure I'll get to the point to where I want to put that much out, but it's also the content. Whereas Fallout 4, like I said, I know the path I want to take and how much I love that game. That'll be a lot of time. Also, looking down here, the Evil Within's. I'm gonna want to get those at some point. If they do, if for whatever reason we get lucky and they do an Evil Within 3, then maybe that would be the time for that. So you can see there's a lot building up. There's a lot building up. There's a lot I want to do, and there's a couple that's not even on this list. I haven't even put on this list yet. But I thought if by some miracle we actually got a few people to stop on in, which it looks like we do. I thought we'd kind of check out these trailers to see what you guys think. So let me look at my computer here. All right. Here is one. I just happened to come across this this past week. Somebody was playing a demo and it looked kind of interesting. The Gray Hill Incident. Let's give it a play and see what you guys think. Have you guys seen this? Have you heard about this? Take a look.
Ryan! Ryan, can you hear me?
I'm here. You need to wear a tinfoil hat. Your son Henry, too. They go into your brains by telepathy.
Lunatics and conspiracy theorists claim to have seen a UFO. The minority tries to convince other people that the small green aliens are real.
The Neighborhood Watch takes care of it. It's Ryan's turn today. He will visit you tonight during his tour.
Hello! This is Ryan. I just wanted to check if everything is okay with you.
I was hiding under my bed, but they got Daddy.
Don't tell the policeman anything. Otherwise, we all end up in the psychiatric ward.
That seems like a long shot. But I guess it's our only option. But even if we do get close, how the hell are we gonna get inside of that thing? No! No, Henry! Who knows what they're doing to him?
God, I hope they didn't start drilling into his teeth. You great bastard. Get your fucking fingers out of my dirty ass!
The Gray Hill Incident releases on June 9th. Yo, make sure to wear your tinfoil hat. And add it now to your wish list.
PlayStation.
Well, I certainly was not expecting that last sentence. I didn't watch the full trailer. I just saw a little bit of the demo.
For those of you that don't know,
All right, go ahead and bring that off. What do you guys think of that? Oh, and also, real quick, since we just played that, how was the audio level on that? So again, with the different program, I'm kind of playing around with this. It looks like it might have been a little loud. I turned it down. But just let me know how that was. We're going to watch one more trailer here. I think it's one more. Yeah, just one more of a game that I can't wait for. So this next one's going to have to be added to this list. The audio's good. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate it. So this one's going to be added to the list also. Silent Hill Ascension. I love these games back in the day. Absolutely loved them. It really sucks it's taken this long for another one to come out. So also remember too, there was that demo that Kojima put out. How long has that been? Has that been about 5 years now? And it had Norman Reedus in it. And then when the whole Kojima and Konami thing kind of fell apart, the game got canceled. But this looks pretty cool. So now I think this is a little different than the traditional Silent Hill games. I believe it is. I believe it's a little different. Let's check this out.
I can feel it. Your guilt. So thick it chokes the air. You want to know how you can escape from this place. But you can't. Any more than you can escape yourself. And the pain you carry. It fills you up. Like a sickness. A disease that you pass on to everyone you meet. Everyone you love. Even your children. no matter how hard, how fast, how far you run. Your past will catch up with you.
Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. Um, so it's interactive. So this that has me thinking, and also with what we just saw, that it's a little more like the Dark Pictures anthologies, those type of games where you're making the decisions versus playing like like any other game that you might play. I guess it feels like it's more like that. Um, was there? Did I miss it? Was there a date? It just says live 2023. I assume that's going to be this year, right? So yeah, so that's got to that this definitely has to fit in the schedule someplace this year. If it is kind of like the Dark Picture anthologies, it won't take. It should probably won't take too long. But I'm really thinking that this Gray Hill incident. I don't think this will be a terribly long game either. It comes out in June. I won't be playing this in June, like what June 9th, I think it said. Won't be playing it that early. But at some point, I might want to check this out. I guess we'll also probably kind of see how reviews go. But this one actually might be pretty good for a stream or two or three, however long it takes. But this might be a good one to stream actually. So that might be that's actually a pretty good idea right there. I didn't even think about that till just now. What else is there? So I know conveniently I said we're not going to go through all of these, but I've almost kind of gone through most of them. I did mention that the GTA or the GTA before 6 comes out. I'm going on to play 5, but if I'm playing 5, I'm certainly also going to want to play those also. So yeah, there's that too. Now these I also do know are not as long as as GTA 5. Something just dinged, and I have no idea what just dinged. Oh, I see. Hey Anna, if you're not able to type conveniently, that's fine. But if you are, so this was a notification I got in Streamlabs. I did get a little bit of a note. So in my old in the other OBS, there's a panel where I can kind of take a look at the stats to see if we're dropping frames or doing different things like that. This one doesn't have that, but it has it, but it's hidden. But that's I just got a notification that looks like some skip frames over the last couple of minutes. Let me know if that's something you've noticed. If you're able to, if not, that's fine. Also, I can kind of come back and kind of take a look at it myself. I also have to remember it's about an hour in. All right, so still learning, always learning. Yeah, it seemed like when we started playing those videos, at least there's a notification. I don't know if it played out that way, but there is a notification of that. So potentially. All right, let's see. Was there anything else I kind of wanted to go over? What else was on my on the main screen? So that's why. So all right. So when I did this up, you didn't notice anything. Excellent. Appreciate that. Thank you. That's good to hear. I tried finding a font that was the Days Gone font. I found it, or at least something similar to it, but it was like I didn't feel like spending $25 for it, so I found this one. This one is kind of close because it has these kind of I don't know what you call them, on the sides of the letters, it has a little something going on there. I don't. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anna, is there anything you want to discuss? Again, if you're able to chat, type. If you're able to do any of that. I kind of feel a little bad because I kind of went through this list and you just jumped on. So I kind of feel like I don't want to be I don't want to hey, she got here and we're just dipping out. Oh, you know what? You know what? So we could kind of quickly discuss. Let me look this up real quick. Drag this on over. So I did put this in Discord earlier today. So I do have I have a channel because like I said, I love Fallout. Fallout's my favorite franchise of all time. So I wanted to have a space where we can talk Fallout. I also started a Starfield one. I have a feeling I'm gonna love this also. But anyways, in Fallout, down here at the bottom, I saw this article today. So I don't know who's aware or not, but Elon has started for the Boring Company. They've started doing some tunnels in Vegas under the strip. And I believe right now, I think they might have from downtown to the strip, but I think they're going to be expanding. And he's a huge Fallout fan, but he's evidently been teasing the idea of potentially having a Fallout party in the tunnels. And I would assume it would kind of feel like you're in a vault a little bit, or at least going into the vault, right? So if you look up higher, you have that vault right there. I would assume going into the tunnel might into the boring, into this tunnel down here might kind of look like that. I think that'd be kind of cool. That'd be really cool. I mean, who knows? It'll probably never happen, but it'll be fun. I got pretty excited when I saw that. Let's see. Anything else on this list? Cyberpunk. I played a little bit of that. I did not finish Cyberpunk. So I played Cyberpunk. So when that first came out, I still had my PS4. And again, I still have the only PS4 I've ever owned is the OG day one PS4. It's not a Slim, it's not a Pro, it's the original PS4. Um, so I was playing Cyberpunk on that for a little bit. I had issues, of course. I had issues, but not as bad as what a lot of people were talking about, or as what I saw in news articles. Not nearly as bad, but it it wasn't the most fun game to play because of the issues, but it was still playable. Would I go down there? Yeah, why not? I'm assuming he's not going to have rad roaches. I mean, he might have rad roaches and ghouls, but I assume they're going to be safe. And, maybe I wonder if you do something like that, as in it would be like a Halloween time, almost like like if you go to a Halloween scare thing. I wonder if you do something like that. You could have ghouls down there. You could have rad roaches, but of course, obviously, be safe. Um, I wonder if you'd have somebody running around yelling Gary all the time. I think it'd be fun. He's got the money to make it look good, right? At least I would think so. And especially if he's such a fan. Now the big question, Anna, the big question is, would you go? And if not, why not? Claustrophobic, maybe? And I guess while we're on the Fallout topic, Oh no, not a tunnel. You're not a tunnel person. I understand. I see what you're saying. I mean, tunnels can be freaky, especially. Well, all tunnels are under something, obviously, right? But I don't think I've ever felt any kind of anxiety in a tunnel going through a mountain. Water does feel a little different to me though. A tunnel underwater, it does feel a little different to me. I mean, obviously, I've done it. I've been fine. I'm not scared to go through it, but there are thoughts. There definitely are thoughts. Um, but yeah, I was gonna say, anyone have any thoughts on the Fallout TV show? Let me pull up this picture. So this picture is on. I did put this in Discord, but I don't know. Let me see. Will it? Can I pull it up easily? Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does. All right, let's drag this back on over again. You would freeze and have to be rescued. Is that any tunnel or just water tunnels? I assume it's probably any tunnel. So this picture was released or leaked. Yeah, I think it was leaked more than released not too long ago. Actually, about a couple weeks ago, I think it was. And this is supposedly from the TV show. The ghoul just doesn't look right to me. The TV show you would definitely watch. Oh, I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for the TV show. I've been. This is the one series. Any tunnel? Yeah, gotcha. This is the one franchise slash series that no matter what Bethesda would put out, I would dive into. Whether it's a comic book, series, a graphic novel, books, actual, full length novels, books. I would love to get into stuff like that. To learn more, dive in, learn more about the different cities, what was going on, in Russia, in China, in New Zealand, wherever, anywhere, what was going on. But this ghoul looks, it doesn't look like it looks weird. It doesn't look real. It almost looks like it's photoshopped in from a cartoon or something. I mean, is that just me? The other thing I noticed is the Pit Boy actually looks pretty sleek, not nearly as big as it is in the games, and I like that. That's cool. That makes sense. I mean, as big as they are in the game, can you imagine walking around with that thing? That'd be insane. So the TV show, yes, I am 100% cannot wait. Want it, need it, want it now. That being said, I do have a couple concerns. One being, I'm afraid I'm gonna put it up on a pedestal way too high, even before it's released. You know how you do that at times with a movie or a TV show, especially you do it with movies a lot. Oh my god, it's gonna be the greatest thing ever, and it might be as good as it can be, and could be loved hugely, worldly, but it doesn't meet your expectations, right? I again, that's how much I enjoy this franchise that I could see me doing that to myself. That's one concern I have, but that's all on me, obviously. Second one is the showrunner is Jonathan Nolan, And I think Lisa Joy, I think they're both doing it. They tend to work together, I believe. I don't know if aware of Jonathan Nolan and or Lisa Joy. They were the showrunners for Westworld on HBO. Jonathan Nolan is the brother of Christopher Nolan, who is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Probably my favorite director. But he did the Batman series with Christian Bale, the trilogy with Christian Bale. He did a movie long, long time ago called Memento. Great movie. If you have not seen it, highly recommend you checking out. So bizarre. Like, it's not bizarre as in freaky bizarre, but it's just so well thought out, so well written, and the twists. It's so cool. He did Inception, among some other ones, but those are some of the bigger ones. The thing that worries me about Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, and it might be more Jonathan Nolan. The Nolans are obsessed with time travel. I mean, if you think about it, Inception was basically kind of that. I know Batman was not time travel, obviously, but they're kind of obsessed with it. Memento, yeah, right there you go. Great movie. There's some time things going on with Memento, right? Um, Westworld, time travel. They're obsessed with that. I don't know how that falls into Fallout, and I'm not talking flashbacks. This is actual kind of time travel type mechanics or plot devices in movies. Um, so there's a little bit of that, but the major concern I have is after a season or two. Take Westworld for example. First season of Westworld was amazing. Second season was really, 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 really good to amazing. Kind of on that same level. And then it went off the rails. I think what happens, I think there's a couple of things that happen. Um, he gets too obsessed with it, and then he just goes nuts with it. So, and I don't know if it's so like the first season and season and a half. Yeah, there's time travel, there's stuff going on there, but it's kind of based in reality. And then it just gets insane. Too hard to follow, too confusing. It's almost like I don't know if he like loses I don't want to say losing interest, but like it's like, all right, now we gotta do this to up this. We gotta do this to up this. We gotta do this to up this, which I realize is part of life. Um, but it just gets out of control. It gets chaotic. So I'm hoping he doesn't do that with Fallout. If they do Fallout, it'd be a great series as long as they can keep it going. Yeah, I agree. I agree with just those caveats of Nolan. That's the only thing that kind of concerns me a little bit, and it's not a huge concern. It's a small one, but it is still a concern. Admittedly, there might be a little PTSD from Westworld that I'm kind of hanging on to. There could be a little bit of that because I love that so much, and then it just went off the rails for me at least. Um, what are your thoughts on how the TV show could go? Like, I'm hoping they don't do it something like what The Last of Us is doing. Although I like the way The Last of Us is doing it, to where first season was the first game. Supposedly, potentially, second season would be the second game. Although I don't know how they go on from that. I hope the TV show is not just Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 or New Vegas. because Todd's kind of overseeing it. I don't know if they'd go the New Vegas route, although I'm sure it'll play a part. But I don't think it would be a focus, a major focus. I want to see again, maybe a different city we've never been to. Will they jump around different cities? Will they jump around countries? That would be cool. I'd like to see again what's going on in China, what's going on in England, what's going on in London. I mean, obviously China makes sense because that's big. That was the big war, right? That was the big opponent. That'd be really cool. I'm hoping they'll start talking about it a little more, and I'm also hoping more will be released along with that. Again, you know, any kind of material they put out, I'll dive in and digest it. The other thing that I'm extremely hopeful for, but also realize it's probably not going to happen. I want remakes of 3 New Vegas and probably a current gen or next gen upgrade to 4. You have not seen or played the entire Fallout game series, so you don't know. Yeah, admittedly, I've only played 3 New Vegas and 4. I've not played 1 or 2. I don't generally get into those type of games. Isometric, top down, PC games. I'm not a PC gamer except for Sons. I've never been a PC gamer. The only game I used to play back in the day on PC was SimCity. Growing up, I love SimCity. And I also, for a while there, got into Civilization, one of the Civilizations. But in Civilization, I had no idea what I was doing. No idea. I just played it. No idea what I was doing, but I loved playing it. SimCity, I loved. I actually started playing on my own City Skyline. I started a few months ago, then I got back into it this past weekend a little bit. I love city building games. I don't know if that's something I would ever put up on the channel. I don't know. Yeah, you love Sons. Sons is awesome. I like it a lot. I can't wait to see what the final product's going to be. I'm really hoping. Um, I'm assuming and really hoping there's going to be more added to the story, and especially the end story. I can't think that they've given us everything right now. I can't imagine that would be the case. So that'll be fun to see that play out. I mentioned in the last stream, the future of Sons. Now, I'm going to keep streaming it right now through all the updates. So that's not going away. I'm going to keep doing that. But at some point when it's fully baked and released, we'll do a restart of that. So we get the fully baked game from step 1. Might even consider doing the hardcore. We'll see. We'll see what's all entailed with that. And then when I'm assuming a PS5 version will come up at some point. I'll probably buy that and play that also. Kind of see how that is. Oh, thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. I appreciate that. I mean, it gets kind of crazy at times, especially when I start doing the Fallout dance. So I always refer to the Fallout dance because that's the way I always play all my Fallout games. Right? You have your weapon because I'm not a big VATS person. Now, in 3 and New Vegas, I was because it was new, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And especially when they had the kill cams, it was awesome. Um, so I was, but when I got into 4, I used it, but not as much. And then when I got into 76, I rarely use it. The only time I use it in 76 are so I've always got horrible aim, but when there's dogs at my feet, if there's something at my feet, then I kind of have to do it then because I can't aim. I can't aim. Then occasionally, from time to time, with all the bugs, I'll do it then. But I use the vents as little as possible. So that what I was leading to with that long story there. Um, yeah. So since I don't use vents too much, I got my weapon out. I'm aiming. I shoot, and then I run past them, turn around, shoot, run past them, turn around, shoot, run past them, turn around, shoot. I've kind of started calling that the Fallout dance, and I do that in Suns all the time. Do it in a lot of games actually, but those two seem to be the most extreme. I do it in Horizon, obviously, but that tends to be a little more circular running, and also some absolutely just beelining running away. I do that. Whereas the Fallout and the Suns, it's a little more matadorish, right? So I got my cape up. I'm doing the Olay to where I let they come running right. We almost bump shoulders. I just run past, do a 180, shoot, run past. That's kind of what I do. So I've kind of been terming that the Fallout dance. But I'm loving Suns, man. It's so much fun. I still can't. I'm always amazed by how beautiful that game is. It's crazy how I don't know if I could go back to the forest. Like it would be fun to do, but it would be crazy. It would almost feel like going back to the forest visually. Not that it looked bad, but with the way that the foliage and the trees are in Suns, the forest would almost feel like playing a Fisher Price game. What it would feel like to me, at least in my head right now, that's what it would feel like. I'm really hoping in Suns, I would love to see, and I've mentioned this a few times on streams, on the stream. I would love to see that hardcore mode where we can select, we can tailor it the way we want. I would love to see that because ultimately, what I would like to be able to play, I don't know if you've ever played the Long Dark. I would love to play a version of the Long Dark in Suns. And I mentioned the Long Dark, and I have mentioned that a while ago in one of the streams. Because in the Long Dark, you have a chance of if the terrain, if you're walking on too steep of terrain, especially if you're walking sideways on terrain, you have a chance of twisting an ankle. Whereas in Suns, you can literally run up pretty much any mountain, I think. And that's kind of bizarre. That's ultimate Skyrimming right there. That is ultimate Skyrimming. I thought Skyrim was bad, or even some of the other Bethesda games. So I've always kind of gone back and forth. Sometimes I call it Skyrimming. Sometimes I call it Bethesda because it's all Bethesda games. Where I kind of noticed being able to do that. Never heard of the Long Dark. Um, it's on my list. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. It's on my list. I want to play this at some point on the stream. So the Long Dark is episodic. It's a small group. I think they're called. I think the name of the group, the developers is Hinter or Hinterland Games, something like that. Let's see if we can't find the trailer so you can kind of check it out. It has a very cool aesthetic to it. It's survival. Um, but like I said, it's episodic, and the last that I checked, now they don't like. There's a lot of time in between the different episodes, so I don't even know what episode they're on now. But you play, I think each episode might be like a few hours, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we can't find trailer. All right, so this was 6 years ago. So obviously, it's been things have been updated, changed, and like I said, more has been added to it. But this is you'll get the basic concept here. Hinterland.
And the people went into their high from the start. They didn't know exactly why. Winter came and made it so. Look alike. Underneath the grass would grow, aiming at the sky.
Let's see. I don't know if it's what it's gonna go. What else do we have? Does it go into crafting at all? Because that's what's cool. The survival and crafting.
Ready to face it?
I'm no hero. I'm just looking for someone. I'm doing my best to survive in the meantime.
Then I hope you find who you're looking for.
Survive the quiet apocalypse. Yeah, so there's crafting, there's survival. I mean, you're taking on wolves, you're taking on bears. I think you're also taking on humans. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played, but it's pretty hardcore survival. You saw the trailer before with the blindfolded woman. You remember? Okay, I mean, you can probably get it pretty cheap, so I would highly recommend. Um, let's see if I can grab my keyboard here and see if I can't see how many seasons there are right now. Looks like there might be four. Oh, and they actually just put out an update not too long ago. Nearing the midway point of Tales from the Far Territory paid expansion pass, campaign for survival mode. And this seems like a good time to talk about how things have gone so far. In my opinion, they haven't gone that well. Oh, I wonder what that's all about. Certainly not how I want them to go. Certainly not how I want them to go. When we originally discussed the idea of doing an expansion pass for the Long Dark, we did so recognizing that in the years we've been working on getting the Wintermute episodes out, we naturally had less time to focus on survival. We wanted to give survival some love, but also wanted to see if we could do so in a more financially sustainable way that might set a path for the future. Independent studio, self-funded, self-published. So it looks like maybe money might have been hindering them. It's still fun. So I played the first two stories. I've not played three or four episodes, I should say. It was great. I loved it. Looks like COVID might have, played a part in here, which makes sense if they're that small. And with, I mean, even huge developers went through issues. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Is there anything here that says we're still continuing, or is it just say regarding episode 5? A lot of you have been asking about it. It's mentioned several times, but I'll say it here again here. We won't be saying anything about episode 5 release dates until we're close to shipping it. All right, so they are still working on it and adding to it, which won't be this year. I do promise some kind of update with some non-spoiler details around what to expect in episode 5 later this year. We'll go the whole year without hearing any news. All right, so there is still something coming. It's unfortunate they had to go through that, though. It is, because it's a great game. I highly recommend it. So, Tales from the Territory, I don't know. So, that's part 2. That's different than the Winter Mute. I'm assuming. Episode 4 is here. I think this is part of that Winter Mute they were talking about. I think that's that first. I think that might be the first story, and I'm not sure what Tales from what is it? Tales from the Territory, from the Far Territory. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. But yeah, that's actually something that I considered playing. I almost played this past winter. I figured it's winter and might kind of make sense. But that could be something to be streamed also. That don't have to do episode. I don't have to do it episode by episode on my end, especially if they're just little seasons. Yeah, I think you get through it pretty quick. Trying to see if there's anything else on this list that I kind of wouldn't mind discussing. Obviously, Red Dead, great games, but those will take a long time. Kingdom Come Deliverance, huge fan. Um, that's another long one, and that's pretty in depth also. What else is on my list that got cut off from here? There's not much on here actually that got cut off. Oh, the Amnesia series. I think I saw today there's a new Amnesia that either came out today or coming out soon. But that's something I've considered that I have on my list to maybe play at same sometime. Also, the Outlast series. I enjoy those type of games. Let's see. Anything else? Grab some water here. Can't think of anything right now offhand other than oh, I almost said it. Anna, you missed it at the beginning. So all right, so Outlast and Amnesia, those are kind of horror type games. First person, a lot of sneaking. They get kind of freaky, I believe. So I've never played any of the Amnesia games. Um, I played a little bit of the Outlast 2 game, but I've not played Outlast 1. But those are type of games that most people tend to put up on YouTube or Twitch or something. They tend to stream those or play those during October. It's usually a Halloween type game because it's horror type. But it's not overly action packed. It's a lot of sneaking around, a lot of puzzle solving. You know, sneak around from this enemy to go get this to get into theirs. That type of stuff. They're pretty cool. Um, see if we can't. I don't know what's more popular, Outlast or Amnesia. Now I know Outlast is coming out with this thing. It's called Trials. That's co-op. I'm not a big co-op fan. But look at the first Outlast was 10 years ago. This is GameSpot. Let's check this out. Now, this is 4 minutes long. I don't know if we'll watch the entire thing, but if we can't get an idea, let's get into a little bit of the gameplay. But you're getting a little bit of the aesthetics, I guess. I think it gets kind of, it gets pretty, I think it gets pretty freaky. Let's Outlast. Let's see, Amnesia. Amnesia's pretty similar. This was 12 years ago. Yeah, so these are a bit older. Yeah, those those got a little darker, that's for sure. But I think when it comes to Amnesia, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's like, well, I have on my list. Let me get to this. I have 3 different games, and I think a new one's coming out pretty soon. So that might so there's I think there's at least 4. Now, Anna, if you don't like tunnels, do you like those type of games, or is that all one big tunnel to you? So I've kind of been keeping this list of Halloweeny October type time games to kind of play, and that's just part of that list. All right, so I think what I'm going to do now. Oh, the games are okay. All right, even if that game takes place in a tunnel. I think what we'll do now, I'm gonna fire up Sons. I'm not gonna play it, but Anna, one thing you did, or Anna, I'm sorry. One thing I did say early on was I screwed up at the end of the last stream. I don't know if you watched the last stream or not. I know it just went up. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday's Memorial Day. But this isn't going to spoil anything other than I forgot to save at the end. You did, okay. Yeah, I forgot to save at the end. So we're just at the beach. So I figured at the end, again, testing out this software. I figured might be a good time just jump in and just make that run back to the 3D base, and then probably call that a stream, unless there's something anybody wants to talk about. Let's go ahead and get that down. That down. Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to do that. I had a feeling I was going to forget to save, and sure enough, I did. We'll let this load on in, and yeah, you know what? That last stream was actually kind of fun. It was kind of cool because it was nice to get around the island. Oh, that, you know what I am remembering now. I do need to do though is I need to get that pot again, because that would be between this save and back to 3D base. So, but I think I know where that camp is, because that's right next to the crash site. So as long as we head back to the crash site, as soon as we get to that little waterfall, we should be fine. Wow, this is taking a while to load on in right now. It doesn't normally take this long. Now, also, I do have a few more things running now than I normally do when I stream. I usually try and go as bare bones as possible. But I do have a couple things going on right now. All right, so you need to pick. Wow, yeah, those frame rates. Pick you up. Come on. Wow, look how long it's taking for that stuff to load in. That's crazy. You know what? Let me close some of these tabs. Let me pause real quick.